Otterly Curious is made possible in part by a grant from the Bay Area Foundation aimed to support undergraduate research initiatives to increase access to education for the growing number of first-generation students who face obstacles to success. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Otterly Curious for the spring semester. Sorry it's been a little late. This has just been a crazy semester. Right, guys? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So today we're here with Jessica and Subi, and you are part of Dr. Lovell's lab?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. Well, I want to know a little bit about you both first. So you want to just name, major, and something that's been exciting for you this semester.
I'll start. My name is Jessica Paniagua. I am a psychology major in my second semester right now, my last year. And I think something exciting for me is not knowing what to expect after graduation. So I'm just pretty excited for that.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Subi Velappan, and this is also my last semester. I'm a senior. It's a psychology major. And I'd also say the same thing, just graduating and looking forward to what's going to come. Also a little nervous, but we'll see what happens.
Exactly. Life happens the way it's supposed to. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get started just kind of getting to know you and your research. So what is your mission statement in 6 words?
Well, my mission statement is to support and advocate for underrepresented communities, especially with the mental health knowledge that I have.
For me, I'd say my mission statement is to advocate about mental health stigma and specifically decreasing mental health stigma.
I love it. Love it. Can you describe your project in a fun and creative way?
In the most fun, creative way, our project is to kind of have everyone understand that social media is seen or represented as a negative. And we're trying to move into showing that others, like, it's not just negative, but there's positives to it. And there's, like, digital social wellness for it as well.
Pretty much how society and media has always portrayed, technology is really bad, especially towards adolescents and children, I'd say. And I feel like we've gotten to a point where we can't just be all, okay, no more technology at all. We have to see, okay, how can we work around it being beneficial? And that's mainly what our lab is looking at.
Yeah, that's really true. I feel like so many people are trying to fight social media or like AI, and it's like, you just kind of have to adapt and learn and grow with it, really.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's, like, benefits to it, too. It's just not just purely on negatives.
Yeah, totally. What is the main question or problem you're addressing in your research?
During the time that me and Jessica at least have been in the lab, we've been looking at digital wellness among college students and adolescents. And throughout our time, we've kind of just been growing our posters on that same topic.
Yeah.
Like right now, we're working on digital wellness, but during the span of COVID-19.
Oh my God, that's interesting.
Yeah, it definitely was very interesting.
Yeah. Especially just not finding enough information for it, too. I think it's just kind of
the knowledge gap.
We're trying to look at both the positive and the negatives and, like, the neutral. There's just more directed to the negatives instead of the other side. So it's just kind of interesting.
That's really cool. What everyday problems or real life issues does your work touch on, and why do you think they matter to students, researchers, and just everyday people?
There isn't enough support to students or college students when it comes to their digital well-being. It's just, as college students, we're just using laptops and technology all the time. There isn't, like, really a way to kind of support them in that, like, how to balance just looking at technology, but also, like, focus on yourself as well.
Yeah, I'd say the same as well. I feel like there isn't a full understanding on, like, digital wellness and, like, also, like, digital relationships. Like, people, they have a lot of friends that are on online platforms now, and there isn't a lot of, like, evidence or even, like, info about what is the difference between relationships online and then in person.
That's so interesting. Can you walk me through the steps you take to gather and analyze your data?
I think, of course, like, just gathering, like, some background information into our topic, like, what exactly, like, do we want to look into? And then we just kind of discuss with each other, like, what is important to have for our research question, and especially why we're doing it as well.
A lot of the times when we come up with new posters, we actually get ideas when we're presenting, like, previous posters. Like, we'll get questions. I'm pretty sure COVID was a question that we got during one of our poster presentations. Yeah. What would this look like during COVID? And we were like, hey, that's a good idea. Maybe we should look into that next. That, I feel like I guess that's kind of how we gathered.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah, we're just going based off previous questions that we had, and also our lab already had like a questionnaire answering like how the pandemic impacted their digital wellness. So it was like pretty cool to just look over their answers and kind of have like an idea of what should we do
that's
for our
pretty
next
nice.
presentation.
So since you guys are focusing on COVID, you just use the previous like COVID responses. Oh, that's cool. The pre-collected data. Oh yeah, that's nice. Do you ever mix ideas from your personal life or culture into your research approach?
I would say yeah. Just because obviously going back, it's just digital based, so I'm going based on like how I perceive like digital media and like how can I integrate like the positives into it as well. Yeah.
I'd say the same. Yeah, I feel like I've always heard the negatives of like social media and phones and technology. So I remember when I was, I'm pretty sure when we were both interviewing for Dr. Lovell's lab, but she brought up digital wellness as one of her projects. And I remember she was like, we're looking at like beneficial, positive aspects. And I feel like, yeah, I definitely brought some of my own personal beliefs with it.
Yeah. That's really cool. I feel like that's a really big benefit with like psychology research. You guys are able to like have your own perspectives and really apply that to the broader image, which is awesome. Can you give an example of a setback in your work and what you learned from it?
I think a setback could definitely be just finding like information for it, because that's the hard part definitely for us, and we want to look at the same articles, but then it's like, this isn't like going related to what we're doing. So we have to find like certain ways to maneuver like throughout like finding articles and information to always like back up our claims. So it's always like the hardest part, and making it just make sense in the presentation and everything.
For me, I'd say I remember when my first semester in lab, a setback was that I kind of was a bit overwhelmed with like just like the poster presenting and doing an abstract. They just sounded like very big things. I remember around this time last year, me and Jessica were doing our first poster, and it felt like such a difficult task to do. And right now we just did a poster, and it felt like we knew it like the back of our hand. So
yeah.
I would say like over time we've gotten better, but I do remember that being kind of like at least to me it felt like a setback, because I just felt like, what if I can't do it?
That's so real. I feel like it's hard with research because people are always like, oh, there's this knowledge gap, like you need to fill it, and then there's no supporting research to help you like research that. So it's definitely hard. I feel like that's been a struggle for me too, and I totally feel that like in the beginning, just kind of the imposter syndrome of like getting started with research and like finding your identity as like a researcher. Yeah, totally.
Especially for first gen, when you never had research, because when you think of research, you think of like all these numbers, just like a science like in the lab, but it's like it's more than that. It just isn't just that.
Yeah, exactly. Who or what has inspired you to do this work?
I think in the beginning for research, it was definitely when I was part of camp, which was a college assistant migrant program. They definitely gave me a big impact to do better or to try out new things as well. I was scared about research, and then I heard about one of the UROC staff members presenting about what UROC is and how it just comes up into, it's not just like bio or chemistry, just lab, or research. It could also be like whichever major you're in and if you're interested in. Yeah. So it was definitely like the influence of that as well.
For me, I'd say my family was a big inspiration. My family is a big reason why I'm so passionate about mental health stigma, because I have a younger brother who has ADHD, and I remember how difficult it was for my family and me to help him, just because we didn't know a lot. Like, I feel like there isn't enough information presented in general, and I remember thinking like I want to be part of something that would help like kids and their families, specifically with mental health, but also so they wouldn't be filled with that stigma that's surrounding it, like feel bad about it. So that was like, I knew I wanted to join a lab, I just wasn't like sure which lab, and it was in Dr. Lovell's actually Psych 300 class that me and Jessica were in together, where she presented about her health and wellness lab, and I was just like, this would be a really great lab to be a part of for this.
That's so awesome. This is kind of sidetracked, but did you guys meet through Dr. Lovell's lab?
You know, that's the funny part is that I saw her in my intro to psych class. And she always sat in front of me, and I always saw her. And then that's until like our career prep class, and for Dr. Lovell, like we sat next to each other, and
oh my
started
gosh,
talking
that's
more.
so
So it
cute.
was nice. It was nice.
Do you guys work on the same project too? Like, are you co-authors? Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
That's so fun. How does the work you're doing fit into the larger context of the field?
I guess for me, like, it would be like a way to finally show that if we utilize technology correctly, it could have a lot of benefits, even benefits towards adolescents and children's mental health. I feel like right now the blame is like, oh, if like a child's mental health is negative, it's because of like social media, it's because of technology.
Yeah.
But through this lab, maybe you'll be able to find ways like if you use technology in this certain way, it can actually help and benefit mental health. So maybe it will show the opposite impact rather of what it's, at least society has been saying that it's showing.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think kind of like how Subi mentioned, especially because I remember how sometimes I'll just see that all throughout, like on social media, like why you shouldn't use too much of it, especially with like these new like apps like TikTok and other things. Like you just kind of get drained with it.
Yeah.
And I completely understand because I get drained. But there's also positive into it because some people find new hobbies, new activities for themselves, and they kind of have like a sense of feeling of like, oh, this is what I like to do, or I like sharing to other people like what I like to do. So I think just like people finding a balance between both, like when is too much for one person, when is it too okay to step back a bit for a minute. So yeah,
I feel like social media will always be something that is just like a larger like controversial topic kind of, because people are always like, oh my gosh, social media is so bad. Like, you know, people find their niche, or they have like their little communities and stuff like on TikTok, like, oh my gosh, like crocheting and stuff, you know. So it's definitely that balance.
Exactly.
What do you hope to achieve with your work in the short term and the long term?
Well, definitely long term, get experience from it. I think because I want to be in the clinical psychology field, so I there's going to be a lot of research based.
Yeah, definitely.
So definitely like these little, not these little experiences, but these like longer impacts on the experiences of being able to be just comfortable, gathering information, analyzing, data collection, everything can just really help me in the long run when I'm actually needing up to do things by myself.
For me too, the long-term experience just being in the lab definitely was very beneficial, like working together, doing posters, writing abstracts, doing data collection and data analysis. I learned a lot of skills that I definitely will be using throughout my life. For short term, I guess because what I've noticed from Dr. Lovell's lab is that like a lot of her projects continue to grow on each other. So I would hope that the work we've done can be used in the future by other students to grow into more posters.
Yeah, definitely.
What has been the most surprising or rewarding aspect of your research so far?
I think the people that I met in the lab, that's definitely the first one. I felt a strong bond with each one of them, and it kind of just doesn't go into the lab, but like outside of lab, like how we just kind of connect and just bond with each other. And I think also rewarding, just getting the experiences, like going to conferences and presenting, like those are things that I have struggled with, like just not, I don't know, I'm just like really bad with public presenting, and so it's just getting comfortable, finding my own comfort and confidence into those things really goes a long way. Yeah, like
Jessica said, the lab and everyone is amazing. Dr. Lovell's great, and everyone in the lab I've gotten much more closer with. They're all good friends. And like the conferences, I feel like sometimes I think about it and it still feels surreal to me. That I travel out of state and I go and present like...
yes, like you guys are superstars. Literally, own it.
it's an insane experience, and I feel like it's so nice to go with like our big cohorts when we go to those conferences. It's just we just bond and get along so well, and I'll definitely miss just like the whole lab experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's so awesome. If you could start this research over again, what would you do differently?
That's a good question.
I think definitely not be scared. That was the main one. I was just so scared, like wasn't knowing what to expect. And when I went to the first like lab meeting, everyone was using big terminology, and I was just thinking to myself, what is going on?
That's so real.
So definitely just being okay, and knowing that if I don't know what's going on, ask. Definitely ask. Don't be shy to not ask.
Yeah. Definitely the same thing. I still remember like the first lab meeting. I was like so nervous and scared, just going and just being there. But now it's like it's such like a comfortable environment, and we can talk about anything. So, like Jessica said, just don't be scared.
That's so real. Literally, me in my first lab meeting, I was just sitting there not speaking. I was like, I'm just here listening. I don't even exist. Don't look at me. Yeah, that's so real. Okay, last question. What advice would you give to someone trying to start their own research projects?
Oh, that's actually good. What ideas do you feel like are comfortable doing? Because sometimes I feel like with certain projects, people are just doing whatever their mentor is saying. But if you don't like that topic, definitely go and tell them what else you think can contribute to what the topic is, but in your way. Yeah, just definitely looking for that information.
Yeah, adding on to Jessica's, I would say like don't restrict your ideas because of like ideas that your mentor has. Like if you are really passionate about a topic for research, don't think like, I don't think this would look good on a poster or at a conference. Like I would say just go for it. You never know. Most likely it will turn out great. So like I would rather you go for it rather than be regretful that you never actually did research on a topic that you were passionate about.
Yeah,
exactly.
That is really good advice. Okay, that was our last question. Thank you guys so much for coming. This is actually the first like research duo episode. We've never done like two people from the same lab before, so I was really excited to do this with you guys. It was really cool learning about your research and just learning more about you. Do you have any other questions or final thoughts?
No, I think
you
just have
great
fun.
Questions.
Just have fun and research.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yay! Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
The Koret Scholars Program at CSU Monterey Bay supports undergraduate researchers working on faculty-mentored research at CSUMB and in the region. Scholars develop a curated research identity through the development of a digital e-portfolio for the social science research workforce or graduate school.